On today's EMBN Show, the best value eMTB in the world.
And you don't buy it at a bike shop, you buy it at a supermarket. Yes, Steve, the Lidl Crivit Peak is a catchy name. Lidl, the discount supermarket that has 12,000 shops Europe-wide, I believe, are selling this. It's an eMTB with a 100 Newton meter motor. I mean, there's lots to talk about here, but it's hardtail. But the big story really is it's 1,699 euros.
1,699 euros.
And 100 Newton meters.
And a 709 watt-hour battery.
Yeah.
And some really good componentry.
130mm travel fork. It's a hardtail, aluminium frame. It's got a Mivisi X700 mid-mounted motor.
We've seen this motor at shows before. I think we saw it at Taipei last year. We saw it at Eurobike last year. I mean, 100 Newton meters, these are good numbers. It's what people are after. But I think, for me, it's like, when is a hardtail not a hardtail? When it's an e-bike. I mean, you said it in the title there. A hardtail with this performance. What you can do on a hardtail eMTB compared to a hardtail mountain bike is radically different, right?
Exactly, yeah. And as we said as well, you know, it's unusual. You know, normally bikes that are available in supermarkets or even, you know, auto retailers aren't very good, but this looks like a pretty sorted bike.
This does look the real deal, doesn't it? I don't actually know where Crivit Peak is. I've tried looking for it, can't find it anywhere.
All right.
But yeah, I think the discussion here is a bike like this will probably be able to climb technical climbs as good as an eMTB, which is 5 figures. Obviously, there will be a slight difference in terms of the traction you'll get because it's a hardtail in really difficult places. But this, you know, when you're talking trail centres, smooth single track riding, forest trails, the potential here to get out into the wilderness is huge, isn't it? Especially with a battery that size.
We talked about last week, so with the Grand Canyon, that being like a really useful machine. I've done videos in the past where you load them up for taking the kids up to nursery, doing your shopping, doing some off-roading as well. Really usable machines. Mm-hmm. There is downsides to this bike. It's fairly weighty for hardtail, around 26.5 kilograms, but it's got Shimano Qs, so it's got proper components on this bike.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's actually not the only hardtail we've seen on EMBN in the past 12 months. We actually had the Velotric last year, which me and Owen went up into the Brecon Beacons on. I think it shows, if you do a little bit of careful planning, a hardtail, it's just, I mean, I'm thinking back to when I first started mountain biking. Yeah. Decades ago. I was on a rigid bike, obviously it was a Specialized stump jumper comp, rigid forks, 26-inch wheels, steel frame. Like, I'm trying to think, what would I have done differently had I had that bike there? I mean, for me, it is always about, my first adventure on a mountain bike was about the kind of, you know, the downhill single track. Yeah. And if I could have done that on a rigid bike, I can certainly do that on a bike like this. You
know what, Steve? Getting into the retroness, I literally bought myself a 19...
Saw the
Kona Lava Dome.
What?
I'll get a shot for you. I'll line it up next to my modern e-bike, and you see the size difference in tyres. The fork is incredible. It's massive, even like a 36 fork.
Why did you buy that bike?
As a pub bike, really. I have nostalgia. I bought it.
You ride a bike to the pub?
Well, I mean, I haven't for a long time, but I thought I might this summer. You know
knee update. The DOMs.
Right. I'm back on a bike. I rode 60k last week in one day. It's the most I've ridden in actually probably a year.
Actually, that is news actually, because you've been riding at Coed in Trail Centre. You know, we're talking about, you know, the Lidl Crivit Peak. I mean, Coed would be a great place to take a bike.
It would
like
be,
this,
yeah. Right? It was great to get back there and enjoy the trails. It's obviously a bit of a sad time because the cafe and shop are closing very soon, end of this month. But obviously the trails, they are still open and will be for the future as well. So you get out there and enjoy them.
And I think you've been riding the new Run on Fly up there.
I have really enjoyed that. Yeah,
I think there's a video coming on the channel soon. It's a really interesting subject.
We've got some data to go with bike rides on different bikes, and we've got a very exciting bike coming out very soon as well, which you'll see on the channel.
Don, great to see a bike such as this on the channel. You know, like as you mentioned from the get-go, we've had some pretty shocking bikes from off eBay since we started the channel.
That's true.
I mean, but this like we mentioned is the real deal. The good news is the price, the spec, the battery range. The bad news,
currently only available in France and Czechia. So whether or not you can get that in the rest of European countries, we'll soon find out, I hope.
One last thing. What was the last thing you bought from Lidl apart from food?
Nothing.
No?
Food.
I bought a fondue set.
You used it a lot?
I used it twice. In fact, I bought 2 of them.
Something that I do spend literally half of my wages on, Steve, is Lego. And I can now buy a Lego. It looks like an e-mountain bike, or is this real?
It looks like a Yeti eMTB. Right?
I would buy that, but I'm not sure that.
I think it actually looks quite cool.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a real? Is it a real Lego?
No, I
bike?
think someone's made this on a computer, but I would.
Do you
buy
think
that.
so?
I would buy that. Although probably I went to buy a Porsche Lego thing. It was £200, so I did not buy it.
Okay, right. On a more basic note, you'll see in a minute, we bumped into some characters out on the trails in the Wye Valley in the weekend, and they had a brace of Nikolai Pinion MGU bikes with these mudguards, and they're called a Vision Velo rear mudguard. I think it's a quite a nice take on a rear mudguard.
Is that 3D printed? Can't tell from
No, they're Vision Velo. They're actually available. They do fronts as well. I think it's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, we know what. I think I've spoken about rear mudguards too often on this channel.
Have you really?
Probably. What are your opinion?
I don't know what your opinion is on rear mudguards.
I'd rather go without. I'd rather have a muddy bum, if I'm honest.
Okay, folks, let us know what you think about muddy bums and rear mudguards, and also the little e-bike.
Right, on to cool places, and I thought this looks like a very cool place with a very cool bike. Well, unusual bike, I've got to say. Nick Kreitzer. This is Whiting Ranch, California. It doesn't look like winter, but it says winter. And it's got a Specialized Levo, not only with the rear wrap, but it's got the Trust fork up front.
Whoa, actually I missed that.
Exactly, get your glasses
the Trust fork.
Get your eyes around that.
What happened to the Trust fork?
I've never tried one, but...
Never worked out, did it?
I'll stick that in the box with my rear mudguard, I think.
I mean, back to what Cool Places is all about. This is above the city of Locarno in Switzerland. That's from Gav. Next up, Lake District, Winlatter. Paul and Ian trailing Ian's new Cube stereo on the full red and blue roots of the epic.
If you look at the background of that, I know Lake District is epic, but honestly, that looks amazing.
Lake District. It's something else, and it's like some of the technical climbs there. Although if you do decide to go to Langdale and try to emulate the ride we did on the Meridas, be very careful. It is a bridle way, but it's incredibly technical. And then finally, these are 2 characters I met out on the trail in the Wye Valley on the weekend on a brace of Nikolai Pinion MGU bikes, having a great time with them. It's great to see people riding these bikes out on the trail.
Did you get their opinions on the MGU?
Oh, I like that. Opinions.
Yeah, okay, got you.
Penny dropped. Yeah, I mean, it's, it's just e-bikes transform people's lives, right?
Yeah, great.
Folks, I wasn't very helpful in terms of route planning for you. All I'll say is keep going to the right-hand side of that valley and you'll come with some absolute gold trails. That's it from the Cool Places. Time now to look at some feedback from you guys.
From last week's show, I talked about, are we asking too much from bikes? Well, I mainly talk about battery capacities and how actually I don't use my big battery that often, although I'll always choose a big battery.
How much do you weigh? 70? 65?
No, 80.
80?
Something.
I might actually sat next to Neil Donoghue. I've known you 30 years. You're 80 kilos.
That's the problem. You've known me 30 years.
Are you actually 80? You're not 80
I don't know.
kilos.
It's been a while since I've looked, to be
What
honest.
was your downhill racing weight? It must have been 65, right?
No, 68 maybe.
Whoa!
Yeah.
But still, you don't use a full battery.
Rarely, but I like having it, I suppose. Anyway, people got involved, and I had a couple of comments from people talking about Shimano's Link Glide, which
Brilliant.
I haven't used.
Brilliant.
It does seem like a great product to have. P199 says check out these products, the CS LG 700 11 speed, and it's dedicated to the eMTB group for durability, full steel cassette, which is what we were talking about last week. Robert's case, the same thing. Went for 11-speed Shimano Link Glide cassette. Happy so far after 2 chains and a little over 2,000 kilometres. So
here's the thing then. Here's my comment on this question is the transition between when you're looking at performance, you're looking at bling. It's a very fine line, isn't it? Really, because Link Glide provides fantastic performance, great durability, and the derailleur and the cassette, £100 each for the derailleur and the cassette, right? Insane performance. And then you've got cassettes and derailleurs, which are like £600 each.
So I didn't put it in actually, but I saw someone commenting that they're less worried about their motor, they're more worried about replacing their drivetrain.
Exactly.
It costs them more to replace the drivetrain than it would the motor.
Because the motor, you've been spending time with Pete Collard down at the e-bike motor centre. You know, basic service, basic fix around about 250 quid.
Yeah.
Derailleur, 600 quid. More chance of breaking the derailleur than there is the motor.
Yeah, I would really like to see. I mean, I do like bling stuff. I'd like to see a really high-end 10-speed.
Don's got a new watch.
10-speed, not 12. I don't want the massive range on an e-bike. I'll have a 10-speed small cassette that is nice, but not. It shifts clean and.
I bet I've also bumped into a lot of people on the weekend. I didn't actually bump into them.
You've been out about it.
I've been out on a new bike which is coming up on the channel very soon. Can't go into too much details. Bumped into Jimbo. Jimbo, I said he was 110 kilos. Yeah, probably more like 120. And he just goes through cassette and derailleurs all the time. And I said, you need to get you onto the Link Glide. It's going to just last you longer. So I think I'll try and get a set for you, Jimbo, soon.
One last comment on this show subject was JBD BSB. Not everyone needs big battery, but give me range or give me death. My typical regularizer over 50 kilometres and 1.5 kilometres of climbing on a Norco Range VLT. Big single 900 watt hour battery rides are 2 kilometres, 2,000 metres and 4 kilometres of climbing, 4,000 metres climbing. I'm getting mixed up in my kms and metres here, but big rides, I've got to say, I'm impressed.
So just a quick recap of range of e-mountain bikes. Bosch I can do on a 750 800 watt hour battery in full power mode. With super grippy tyres. I can normally do around about 15 to 1600 metres and about 35k.
Yeah.
DJI bike around about the same 1600 metres of climbing and about 35k. Specialised Spectralons, 900 watt hour. These are the kind of numbers you expect. Yeah. That's in full power mode for me, 95 kilos. So I think the range and the height we're getting these days is
pretty good.
It's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty good.
On to more feedback.
This is a big hitter. This is a big hitting comment.
From This Should Be Fixable, my video where, I did talk about, thanks. I'm starting with this one, Cool CMSC. Yes, it's a scandal. My EP8 cannot be serviced because Shimano has banned that. I expect their threats to our LBS e-motor service centres. I'm in the UK, so 2 years out of warranty on my second motor, first in warranty at 9 months, and I care for my bike, etc. Other manufacturers will allow official service centres and supply them with bearings. So now it's at Shimano in a queue, and I'll have to buy a new one for £980. I mean, it goes on, but it finishes. We'll look up the total cost per mile of running a Ford Focus, because this has cost nearly 50p per mile, and only for the motor.
Yeah, I think Shimano and will be addressing this.
I think they've got to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is worrying for sure. And like we've been talking on the show for 7 years, actually, we would like to see better reliability on all the motors. Actually, I mean.
The problem I didn't address it so much, but I asked the question is, would we as consumers, not necessarily us as the media guys, would us and the rest of the market take a hit on the chin on performance for reliability? And I think most of us would answer yes, but actually then doesn't get the headlines. Or maybe it would. If someone offered a motor and said, look, here's 5-year warranty, because we're so happy with the reliability of this motor that we can give you a 5-year warranty, would people choose that over the numbers?
I really believe that the headlines have been hijacked in the past 12 months with numbers. I think you did a show a few weeks ago about is it equally more about the bike than about the power and the numbers like that.
Yeah.
I think Yeah, we've been hijacked because, like I said, 7 years ago, the Rocky Mountain was 110 Newton meters, the 600 watt internal battery. The bike weighed 22 kilos. There's 160 mil travel
with a bottom bracket that could be replaced.
It's like,
people talked about that as well.
We need it. We need more reliability for sure.
I did read all the comments, some really interesting ones, including Rouse423. Neil started the video by mentioning how simple it is to remove e-bike motors, yet you cannot replace a faulty motor yourself with a new one because the motor will require firmware updating via the manufacturer, basically. So that, it goes on to say, in my opinion, the right to repair is even more important than the issue with serviceability.
Yeah. And there's one more, actually.
It's more positive, this one, I've got to say.
I'll get my glasses on. Moon shining. I'm a bike courier, and my Bosch Performance Gen 3 is about to hit 50,000 kilometers since summer 2022. I've only ever had the drive side bearing replaced in the shop I bought it from. That was after 32,000 kilometers. I mean, this is all in line with what Pete Collard at E-Bike Motor Centre says.
We need it. Go on.
Oh, goes on to say E-Bike Motor appears to still be going strong, but I'm going to get a new one from the E-Bike Motor Centre soon. My old one can't go on forever. 50,000 Ks.
I think we've talked about this before, maybe not, but we'd love to have a leaderboard. I don't know how we'd prove it, but the people with the most mileage, the most kilometres.
Like it.
Is 50,000
put the leaderboard up here somewhere? Put it on there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's good going.
Can we also have a weight kind of, we keep an eye on people's weight on the channel as well, please?
A weekly weigh-in, us two.
Right. We are actually in the bike vault, and I'm trying to read the first trails. Usaspunky. Usapunky.
In Finland. This looks, I mean...
It ends with punky.
It does. It looks great, and this is on Monrek Craft. This is Mikko. I rode, there's a place just outside of Stockholm, literally right out of the city centre, and it looks just like that.
Oh, you've been around, haven't you?
I went to visit POC and rode out, and it was great. It looked just like that.
All right, well, what about the nice or super nice?
I think it's super nice, like the colour.
Central Holgren and the Three Sisters Volcanoes. Is this the Ring of Fire? Oh, no, this is a fantastic place to go to.
Andrew Beck,
Andrew Beck, that is super nice. That's super nice. And good to have a dog on the bike vault. Gav Rob, new e-bike and trail dog.
The new dog as well.
Trail Elite. And Bailey the trail dog. Sperrin Mountain, Northern Ireland.
Super nice with a dog. That was the overalls on GMB. If it's got a dog in it, it's automatic super nice.
All right.
No, I think this is super nice. Bernard S on the propane, great looking bike. Icano 2CF, which is the SRAM motored bike.
For sure. And then Canyon Strive On, dust off the cobwebs, bone stock, except for 225 rotor. This is Mr. Dog.
What I don't know is where that is. If you could hazard a guess, look at the background.
Look at it.
Is that Europe? I don't know. Could be the Rockies, couldn't it?
Mr. Dog, can you please let us know where this is? Because we need to be there.
Yeah.
Two more, Don. Two more.
Yep. I filled it up this week. This is P-Town. You ever been to P-Town, Steve? This is Loz.
Where is P-Town?
Puddle Town.
Oh, I've not been there.
No, I haven't either.
No. I don't like puddles.
Shred. Finally managed to secure an e-bike. No longer have to be towed up by my mates. I don't know what bike it is, actually. Did I put that in? Is it high bike? Lapierre, sorry. Lapierre.
Nice and super nice.
Nice.
Happy 71st birthday to me. Not me. 25. Yeah. 2003 Shark Motors. This is in...
That looks like Pacific Northwest to me.
Does,
I'm guessing, because that is a beautiful looking shot.
Is this from Jeff Morris? It is from Jeff Morris. Jeff Morris, you're wrapping things up this week's Bike Vault with a super nice.
Gotta be, isn't it? Getting social now. I don't know if you saw any of the Cape Epic, Steve. It's the start of the race season for me. I love watching this. They do a brilliant live broadcast on YouTube, and as part of that brilliant broadcast, they use e-bikes to chase down the pros, literally the top riders, and they're live streaming with this crazy gimbal camera setup. And obviously they've got to keep up with people like Nino Schurter, who are absolutely bombing. And they've got Stefan, Sam and others riding these e-bikes. So Stefan's riding Bull's VUCA Evo AM2 with the Pinion MGU. And he's got quite a few posts on his Instagram showing his setup with the cameras and also this backpack. I guess it's sending the feed to the helicopter and it just cuts from bike to helicopter. It's amazing.
This could work on e-bike races as well, couldn't it?
I thought about this years ago, about trying to jump in behind some pros and doing this, but it wasn't given the green light by the...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can see why,
Meanwhile, check this trail out over in Laguna.
I put this in.
Have you ridden this trail?
I think I may have ridden this years ago. I rode Laguna. There's Telonix is the really famous rocky fast track, and then I don't know if this is called Ira's, but I rode one in 1999 with Steve Peat that looked a bit like this, and it leads to some. This is the second video like this I've seen in the last couple of years.
Oof.
And our friend and colleague Owen from GMA Tech is going there next week, and I've challenged him to try it out.
Boom! That's it for this week's EMBN show. Coming up on the channel, actually, this week, we've got a new bike which you folks really need to tune into. I've ridden a similar one. Great motor, great battery, great geometry. I would say the right amount of travel for many people.
I very much enjoyed my day out riding this bike. It was great, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got up into the wilds a bit up of North Wales and had a great day on this bike. So come into the channel on Friday.
Yeah, and before that, we've got Owen out in Taipei Cycle Show. See you next week.